This is SoulCharge, the podcast for women leaders to take the highest level of ownership of their power to create results now. I'm your host, Stacy B. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another SoulCharge episode. On today's episode, we are going deep into the world of the internal operating system and how that translates into upgrading your external function of your business and why it matters. Because the truth of the matter is that as women leaders, we are so used to leading in silos. We are so used to pursuing business frameworks and operational frameworks that only promote and perpetuate separation. Separation meaning that we have 10 different frameworks running alongside each other. And one day, what we realize is they start to conflict. They start to compete. They actually start to contradict each other. And SoulCharge is here to restore how leadership is meant to be built going forward, especially for women leaders. And so today's episode, I'm going to break down what I mean by the internal operating system and then how that actually translates into your life and business, specifically the business, so that you can start to see how my brain is working around this topic, and also so that you can understand maybe there's some areas where you can see that there are gaps for you, and you can see where taking the pieces of this episode will help you bridge and think differently. So SoulCharge is the internal operating system. And the way in which we work with our women leaders is very much reclaiming the internal power identity, working with their energy and biology, and translating that into business coherence and results. And so let's name first and foremost what the internal operating system is. So what that is identity, biology, and energy. So I want you to think of identity as like the hardware, biology as the software, and energy as the source that you plug into, right? The source that you plug into to energize the system. And so when we start to look at the internal state, part of what my background was before I created SoulCharge was I saw that there was all of these separate programs. I saw that there was this separate teaching, this separate experience, right? You had spiritual coaching and then you had business coaching. But for me, I needed a place where it was holistic, where I brought it all together, where it wasn't about, I need to go here to get this and there to get that. I wanted an Instacart for leadership development. If you know what Instacart is, you know that you can go and get your Target order, your Costco order, and your Fred Meyer order, or Albertsons, Save On, whatever it is for you. You go to one app. It is Instacart. That Instacart allows you to fill your carts at the different stores and do one checkout, and it's delivered. And so think of SoulCharge as the Instacart for leadership development, in that we're not just telling you how to revolutionize your internal state, how to come back to the truth of who you are. We are also saying this is how you get business results and results through others in the process. And so the internal operating system consists of identity, biology, and energy, which I've described. And then how that translates into the business are in these categories: vision and goal expectations, and communicating your vision. The performance of the company, communication, how you are getting everyone aligned, how you are communicating your vision and what's expected. So that communication through decision making, through operations, and through culture. So you have vision, decision making, operations, performance, communication, and culture. And so that is how we translate the human upgrade that is the internal operating system of SoulCharge that addresses the woman's identity, biology, and energy, so that our women leaders are aligned with the truth of who they are, and then they're able to take that into the business in the key areas that I described. And so now that you have the vision, the table set before you of what SoulCharge actually is, let's dive into the pillars of what's going on with the internal operating system first. And so Identity work is very mainstream these days, but the identity work that we do with the women leaders is multifaceted. We believe that we have this tool belt of options of tools that we use with our women leaders that allows us to shine a light and excavate the pieces of the identity that are no longer serving you as a woman. And so what we do with that is we don't make it wrong. We release it without judgment, and we free you to see how you've been operating and consciously design the identity you want to step into. The next piece is biology. This includes like nervous system work, it includes intent awareness work, it includes our proprietary methodologies of bringing your attention into not just how you're feeling, but your nervous system, how you've been moving through the world, and who you are as a woman. We're going to talk about hormones. We're talking about all of the pieces and parts that affect you when you are midlife, when you are three-quarters midlife, like wherever you are. Most of our women are like ages 38 to 55 is typically the woman leaders that we're working with. And biology is a big deal because a lot of times you have been grinding for so long, you don't even know how it feels to be in your body. And so this is a huge piece of our work because if I am just teaching you something, you are getting it at the depths of the intellectual. But when I am asking you to drop into your body, you start to scratch the surface of embodiment and how it feels to actually know what it means to be in your body, to lead as a woman leader and spark change that you're so passionate about while being ridiculously connected to your body, your intuition, and activating the magic that is you that is currently lying dormant because you're disconnected with your body. So that's the biology piece. It's very multifaceted. Everything about SoulCharge is multifaceted because, funny Instacart example or analogy, I don't want the transformation to be anything but permanent. And for it to be lasting, what I realized when I was through my journey of personal development is we cannot just address one thing. As I say a lot of times to my women leaders, I got to come in your front door, your back door, your side door, and a window sometimes for us to get around the grass that a past identity might have on you. And that's how we make it lasting, is that we are relentless with the tools and expertise that I have, that the curriculum and what we've built is so dialed in with the transformation being permanent that we will truly stop at nothing to follow through. So that is biology. And lastly, energy. As women leaders, one of the things that you know deep within your soul, and you can even feel it as I'm speaking to you right now, one of the things that you know is you have an incredible asset, which is your energy. But one of the things that might be true for you is that the energy and the leverage that you have on that energy to magnetize the results in your business is not activated at the level you know is meant for you. You can even feel it as I'm saying. Maybe it hasn't been at the top of your awareness before, but you know you're magnetic. You know you have influence. You know that you have impact. But to the extent that you're actually leveraging that daily, that's what's of question. Your energy is likely spent spinning, going, doing. And what we want to do is actually bring it back home. We want to bring you back to you so that you can harness your energy in a way that you may never have, through visualization, through intuition, through clearing and excavating the distortions, limitations, and beliefs that are no longer serving you, that you allow yourself to free your energy and allow yourself to actually step into what it looks like to be magnetic. When you are magnetic in your leadership, you're able to cast vision in such a powerful way that leaves the world of convincing your team into commanding energy. They feel your energy, and it is impossible except everyone to rise along with your vision. This is what's so cool about energy. And when we put this in this trifecta of identity, biology, and energy, it is pure magic. And here's what's so cool is the results are of the quantum reality. Quantum field and the results that our clients get are instantaneous. We have a call with our clients and they get off and they report more income. They get off the phone with us, they report new clients. They literally leave a meeting with us and a client that they pitched to has said yes. This is the power of clearing your space so that you can step into all of your energy. So now that you know the trifecta, let's talk about how that extends into the business once that is charged up, once your soul is charged and you're able to go and make magic happen in your business. So let's talk about vision first. So vision without aligned energy is falling flat. You can even see this now, right? If you're casting vision, if you're not fully behind how you want to grow, if you're not fully behind and aligned in the way in which you want to deploy your vision, your team can feel it. They can feel when you are amped up and they can feel when it's like pulling teeth to get you to move something forward. And so when you are totally aligned in the way I've described in your internal world, what happens is your vision is like the best tasting ice cream to your team. It is the most amazing visceral experience because the vision can be clear, but your energy behind it is so palpable that they are aligned. And here's what happens is you start to put yourself in energetic resonance with aligned opportunity and clients. What do I mean by that? Well, when you are aligned with your vision and you are clearly articulating that, not just with your words, but with your energetic resonance, what happens is that just by casting that alone and moving through the world in that way, aligned opportunity and clients are magnetized to you. That's the beauty of this work is we are literally leveraging energy to result in a business that is aligned. And there's just this effortless ease with how things are flowing. It doesn't feel like such a push and a struggle, hustle and grind like we were once taught. You are magnetic. This translates into the way you make decisions throughout the organization and how you lead. They are clear, there's not hesitation, and you start to look at decisions as the faster you make decisions, the faster you collect revenue. And so your decisions start to align in that way too. Communication is clear. There's not hesitation in communication. Your communication isn't apologetic, it's unapologetic. And because of that, you're not people pleasing anymore. You're not looking for approval or validation from your team. You're not polling your team for feedback. You are clearly conveying what's necessary to reach the vision. With regards to operations, what's so great is that we actually provide our clients with different tools and frameworks operationally so that it's not just the leader and CEO that's embodying in this magical energy, but that we can start to actually download this operating system into the direct reports. And so what that looks like is instead of your managers or your leaders coming to you when there's problems, blaming each other, there's a high level of ownership. The principles that we teach within the operating system are based upon our core values as a company, which you can go check out prior SoulCharge episodes to learn more about those core values, but they are connection, ownership, certitude, and mastery. And so imagine your leadership team, your managers actually operating in a way of being resourceful, of having such radical ownership that you're not dealing in the minutia anymore. You're literally dealing with the strategic moves to fulfill the vision while your team is executing on your behalf. So that's how that flows operationally. And then as it relates to culture, what's so cool about this is we start to build an organization of consciousness versus separation. We end the illusion of separation, of you're different from me, I'm different from you. We instead start to elevate the culture around this common thread, which is I am you, you are me, we are one. We are rallying around the concept of oneness, an organization that literally is built in connection, an organization that is actually built on love instead of fear. A heart-centered organization is what unfolds because you as the leader are connected to the truth of who you are. You're connected to your heart and your soul and what drives you by way of going through and integrating the internal operating system. And so what's so beautiful is that you then now get to take that beautiful heart-centered inspiration and purposeful leadership, and you get to deploy that into your organization. Here's how much bigger than you this is. It is so much bigger than you as the leader. When you start to lead in this way, you are literally changing your team by your presence alone. You are changing your clients by your presence alone. You are, instead of competing, you are collaborating. Instead of fighting, you are connecting. And when you are leading in this way, you are freeing your team to be all of themselves. Your team, they are mothers, they are fathers. They are going to go home and they are going to lead their families differently. Their kids are going to school and they're going to talk differently. Do you see the importance of this? As I talk, I feel it in my bones. I feel it in every cell of my being on how important this is and how incredible of an opportunity it is that we have the opportunity to lead differently, that you have the opportunity to lead differently. Every client that your leadership team touches, that your company touches, by way of you being in this conscious form of leadership, impacts them. They go out in the world and they impact. You see, it's like not just about our teams and our leadership. It is about humanity and representing a new model of how we work. This is the leadership operating system of the future. This is what is going to usher humanity also to its next level by way of our leadership, by way of showing others what is possible when we are truly connected to ourselves, when we are truly connected and aligned. We create good. We no longer create from struggle and chaos and default ways from being unconscious. We get to create intentionally in an aligned way, conscious and intentional about how other people are feeling and how we're feeling, and so connected to the bigger picture. Leadership in business up until this point has not been that way. And it is time for a new day. It is time for a new tomorrow. And it is time that we take ownership of our part in this and your part in it. I know I'm taking ownership of what my part is in it. Are you loving SoulCharge? If so, hit the subscribe button, leave a review, and share an episode. We want to bring powerful content to women leaders each week so that women can be unleashed to create the results that they want now. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.